Hello, it's time for another episode of Discipleship Today. My name's Bob Benson. I'm the pastor of Christ Lutheran Church. We're using the book of John as a discipleship text. We know that Jesus had this special relationship with John. John referred to himself as the beloved disciple, and they spent a lot of time together. So we're approaching one of the most famous passages that probably everybody can quote that's evangelical Christian in John 3:16. And I'm going to just read this section from 3:16 to 3:21, and then we're going to back up and talk about it. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but in order that the world might be saved through him. Whoever believes in him is not condemned, but whoever does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only Son of God. This is the judgment. The light has come into the world, and the people loved the darkness rather than the light, because their works were evil. For everyone who does wicked things hates the light and does not come into the light, lest his works should be exposed. But whoever does what is true comes to the light, so that it may be clearly seen that his works have been carried out in God. As we look at this text, what we have to remember is John was writing from a little bit of a different perspective. He wanted to show the world the deity of Jesus Christ. That Jesus Christ, yes, he was a man that he lived with for at least 3 years, but he was also the Son of God. And in that perspective, whenever we write something, we come from a specific perspective. And the perspective of John was to show, yes, most people knew that Jesus was a man, but he wanted to show them that he was also God. I think the best news in this passage, we can all quote that John 3:16 passage, but the good news really comes in John 3:17. He didn't come into the world to condemn us. Anybody who does not believe in him is condemned already. He came that we might be saved by believing in the only Son of God. That's such a crux for us. So many times we focus on things that are not salvific, that don't have to do with our eternal salvation. We make up opinions about all sorts of things. What we have to agree on is it takes belief that Jesus Christ came into this world, lived a perfect life, and suffered at the hands of Pontius Pilate and died for us, and then rose again on the third day. Once we believe those things, and that he did it for me specifically. I've heard people say that if I was the only person on earth, he would have done that. That's true, but that payment was enough for every person that's ever lived on this planet since he came and before he came. God looks at his church as a group of believers throughout all time that believed, past tense in the Old Testament, believed that the Messiah would come, that God's promises would be fulfilled. And in the New Testament, we look back at that coming and believing in him, we're given eternal life. We've got to, as the church, unify on the things that we can be unified on, and then realize that the rest of it is all opinions. God commands a blessing where there's unity, and we can be unified with a lot of other people in our faith in Jesus Christ as the only Son of God. But we can't include people into our faith walk, into the church. In the confession, we say the Holy Catholic Church, and sometimes that's misinterpreted. Catholic just means universal. But we've got to look at all believers through all times as members of the church, unified in the body of Jesus Christ. And when we can get that done, then we can be discipled and disciple people who don't necessarily agree with our theology 100%. And really, that's what Far Beyond the Temple Curtain is about. It's part of my formation. I came out of a very legalistic church. I would describe myself as a recovering legalist. It's not about the rules and regulations. It's about this personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And I really would like to encourage you to focus on that as you disciple people. And as you are discipled, let's keep our focus where it should be, on the person and work of Jesus Christ and living that out in our lives. That's what discipleship is today. Thank you for your time again today, and God bless you.